Let's go. What's up, bro? We got a podcast in the metaverse, bro.
Yeah. Who knew that this is what it was all building up to through the entire first season? And now we are here kicking off season 2 with all of you guys, a live studio audience.
Let's go. Every Tuesday.
A podcast. We didn't even know what was happening. We were 15 episodes into this.
It seems to be helping and impacting a lot of people. We'll see you every Tuesday on the Well MetaVersed podcast. Peace.
Easy. I don't know why I chuck deuces. Like I don't chuck deuces. What was that?
So some timing things just couldn't be better.
Oh my goodness. Hilarious, brother.
It's so good to see you, my friend.
Like, dude, it is good to be seen and good to see you, brother.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Missed you last week. I know you were traveling and pretty eventful travels, but we missed you here.
Yeah, missed y'all guys, man. You know, in fact, I was, probably, maybe that was on Tuesday. So, just a very eventful trip, to say the least.
Very eventful. Yeah. You gave me a little hint on some of the events of your trip, and man,
so everybody who does not know, my wife and I, hey Kimberly Ann, what's up? And my wife and kids and I drove to Virginia I had to officiate my niece's wedding. That was on Saturday. And then we did a baby dedication on Sunday. And Monday we had gone the Exterminator. Well, he wasn't on last week.
Oh no,
he said you showed your high school.
Yeah, Lolly talked me into showing my high school picture, which started a whole thing. we shared it online, and we got a good looking group of people in the Soapstone. If you don't believe it, just look at their high school pictures because they've come a long way.
The 90s and 2000s were good to people.
Yeah.
So Monday we went pick up my sons from Terry's parents' house, and they were staying at our parents' house, and we were staying at my sister's house, my wife's sister's, which is like 15 minutes apart. So we hopped on the interstate. It was raining. And man, somehow, I won't get into all the details just because of public information and insurance purposes, but I lost control of the vehicle. And we ran into some trees, and we crashed. And so I got a picture of what the vehicle looked like right here. That's a Suburban, and here's my side of the car.
Wow.
So if you can see, so that's just the engine engine parts and stuff. If you look right to the right of the engine, where the metal peeled back, I couldn't open my door. And man, what's crazy is when I'd never been in a crash before.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So so I was a rookie at this. But what needs to be said is it's not that I practice controlling a Suburban. That's our family vehicle. When it's snowing outside or ice, I'll leave the house in the Suburban and go make sure I can control the Suburban in inclement weather. I don't know if you ever think of that, but just as a husband, I'm always thinking like, man, if my family's in the vehicle with me, can I
Mhm.
control this car to keep my family safe? So I do my own types of training. It's ice. I leave the house and go and just maneuver the van, the Suburban, to
Mhm.
make sure I know how to slide properly and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Well, in this instance, man, I was just not in control. I could not control, like, regardless of how good of a driver that I say that I am, that I think I am, that one could argue that I've proven to be.
Mhm.
Uh, man, it's just that just wasn't the case, brother. And so when we crashed, we went through these woods, and dude, it was as if I've always had this weird life goal that in college my friends thought I was just weird, and I would say this, but I discovered this. One my favorite Bible verse is Isaiah 26:3. It says that God will keep you in perfect peace, whose God will keep the person in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on them. I'm trying to rush. Thou will keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on thee because he trusts in thee.
Mm.
And I was like, man, there's this thing called perfect peace. That's my like I wanted to have, I wanted like, man, I want this. I want perfect peace. But how there's a formula, you keep your mind on God, you trust in God, he gives you perfect peace. And I used to say, man, I want to have such a perfect peace that if I'm ever in an accident or know I'm about to get in a crash, I'll be at ease
Mhm.
and I won't be freaking out. Even if I know that this accident might take my life, I want to be such at a place of peace that I'm calm in the midst of my life about to be taken.
Boy, that's a scary thing to hope for or to pray for or to think about. It's,
Well, it's man, like what that I think that's the epitome of peace right there. Like, dude,
oh,
you're in danger.
absolutely. Being at peace is easy in peaceful times.
Right, right. Yeah, a chump
Yeah,
can do that.
that's right.
And
Yeah.
dude, Aaron, so the car is spinning out of control, dude, and the woods are head on. So
Mm.
this is 85 South or 85 North in Virginia. Roads are wet. It's man, this Suburban is headed for the woods, man.
Ugh.
On this wet grass, on this little, dip ditch. And I knew my family, we're about to crash. We're about to hit these trees. And it was as if, I'm not going to say I heard a voice from God. I'm not going to say that, but it was just my heart communicated, y'all going to hit a tree, but everybody's going to be all right.
Mm.
And dude, we start going, dude, it was just like, we're going to boom, airbags burst. It was in slow motion now. The airbags, it's smoke. And my family said they thought I had blacked out because I was just like, everything's good. I'm not hurt. Is everybody all right? And I tried to open the door, couldn't open the door. So I jumped out the window because the driver's window had burst. Jumped out the window, ran to the side. Now, the smoke is going, and the airbags, which I didn't know, everything I've seen on TV, the airbags are white, but they have this pinkish hue to it. So, in fact, I got a picture right here.
Mm.
So imagine smoke being there. You think the airbag's supposed to be white, but with the daylight coming through the airbag, I thought it was fire on the other side.
Oh man.
So I jumped out, got my family out, man, and man, just proceeded to get all our belongings out the car. And I looked up and I was like, man, it's my family. I thought they were all right, but I looked up, man, my family was huddled up on the side of the interstate, man, just praying.
Mm.
Uh, my what's funny is my 13-year-old, when the car came to a halt, my 13-year-old said, in a grown man's voice, thank you, God. God is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like wow. One of my boys said, "Man, it's amazing. That's what came out your kid's mouth." Like, he's like,
Well,
"You don't
I
know what's
mean,
in the tea
you
bag till
know,
it gets in that hot water."
that's yeah, but I mean, it comes back to that verse you just referenced. That's that's the time, and to see that, not only to see you yourself respond from a place of peace, but then also to see your family respond that same way. That's 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 really neat.
Yeah, it's weird because when we got when we got to my sister's house, my sister-in-law, um, we don't I don't use the word in-law. We try to make family family in a way.
Yeah.
Um, man, I walked in the room like this time, so the paramedics came. My wife had this, I don't know if it's from the airbag or the windshield, but she has a little knot right here, and clearly, you know, a day later her eye turned black. Not African American, not African American, but a black eye anyway. So man, it was my wife, but everybody in her family understood. They're like, yeah, this happens. This is just most of them have that's happened to them living in the country.
Yeah.
So they're not, and Terry was like, Jason, I know you. I need you not to think and not to worry about anything. I know your
Mm,
brain is thinking through a bunch of different scenarios about where we are, how we're gonna get home. I need you not to think
mm,
right now. Amazing could do. She not only man, she knows me. She knows men. Like in that
mhm.
situation, a husband is going through 18,000 different things.
Yeah.
Insurance, money, bounce back, home,
Mhm.
safety, whatever. Like there's just so many things that we're thinking. And she's like, I need you to think like I'm okay. This is the last accident I got in where she was airborne. She was like, this is what I looked like afterwards. The medics checked her out. They were like, yeah, you checking out. You just got this bruise.
Mm.
But it's man, seeing your wife, bro, like
Yeah.
that's the most difficult thing. Seeing your wife where there are a few difficult things. One, seeing my wife, whom I love, whom I cherish, and she's bruised up, man.
Mm.
Like as husbands, we're protectors. That's
Yeah.
one of our primary roles is protect our family, protect our wives, protect our kids. And yet here I am, the protector of my family. But I was out of control in the car and I could not protect them. And that's why my wife was like, part of why she was like, I need you not to think. Because
Yeah.
you're going through shoulda, coulda, woulda. Again, I'm the analyst in terms of
Mhm.
family safety in the suburban. What went wrong? How could I have avoided this? What
Yeah.
man, you know? And dude, this is probably about an hour later, hour and a half later, man. And I just, after getting the family safety, making sure everybody's all right. And dude, I just broke. It's like all the emotions just came.
Mhm.
You know, yeah, brother.
And that needs to
So
happen,
absolutely,
and she
because
knew
if that
that.
doesn't, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that needs to happen.
because if it doesn't, that's an indication of something being wrong too.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. To walk away from a accident unscathed, but be broken inside, that's one could argue worse.
Let's see. This is the better. This has been. There it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Is that
that's
is that a
those.
burn or
Yeah, it's somehow some type of burn. I don't know. Don't ask me how
mm,
it happened. Maybe it's I don't know. Maybe it's from the
Oh,
airbag. I don't know.
maybe,
Chemical from the
yeah.
airbag. I don't know.
So that's one on each arm, huh? I bet it was the
Yeah.
airbag because you were holding the
Well,
steering
this
wheel.
is this one. This deep gash,
Oh, okay.
and this one is a burn. I
Gotcha.
don't know. Yeah,
Looks
but
like
it's a lot better.
Sturm is chiming in to say that we're glad that your family or you and your family are doing well. Yeah.
Thanks, Turn. And he's diagnosing me too.
Yeah. Dr. Sturminator.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He says it's a friction burn. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Thanks. But
Yeah.
when you look at that vehicle, man,
Yeah.
the,
Well, yeah. So I might see something different when I look at that vehicle. Yeah. Pull that thing up again. Because I'll tell you what I see when I look at that vehicle
yeah,
is incredible engineering.
dude, come on, sir.
Look at the entire front of that vehicle compressed to this, and everybody from here back walking away. That's amazing
Absolutely,
safety engineering.
absolutely. In fact, let me see if I can pull this one in here. Let's add this
And man,
to it.
trees, golly, they don't move.
Undefeated, my friend.
Yeah.
Undefeated. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's the engineering right there. Look at that.
Amazing.
Shout out to man, dude. To all those who are in STEM, thank you.
Yeah. That's right.
All those engineers, man. My goodness.
Yeah.
Dude, for every bit of lab test, every sleepless night, every waking up. Like, I think I got an idea.
You remember what I think late 80s, early 90s when the crash test dummies, not the band, not the crash test dummies, the band, but those commercials that were on with with all the testing and the dummies, and now here it is, 30, 40 years later or whatever, and we're seeing the results of that, of intentional focus on safety and on re-engineering to save a life, to save a bunch of lives.
Absolutely. So good, man. So
Yeah.
good. Just
Well,
think,
dude,
y'all we could have been having a best of memories of Jason.
oh,
Podcast.
we didn't like in memory of yeah, that's
Right, absolutely. Yeah.
we'd probably take more than a week to pull that together. Like,
Soapstone Memorial. Like,
oh man, that's rough. That's rough. But I am so happy that you and your sense of humor survived intact.
Dude, not just my sense of humor, man. My sons, and the family, dude. It's so funny, man. We went to the crash site, well, to the car, just to retrieve some of our belongings. And my sons, they got into the vehicle at the lot and got out their phones and started doing reenactments. Such, look at them.
Look at that victory pose, left
Right.
leg up on the tire.
Dude, it's
Man,
absolutely hilarious, man. It is.
yeah. I'll tell you
And
what.
then,
So there's something about having a healthy relationship with each other and a healthy relationship with God. I'll say that brings a joy into a situation. If there's a heart of bitterness, something dramatic like this will accelerate that, and you could see people going back and forth. But man, when there's a spirit of joy and laughter, and shortly after the fact, you can be, posing and reenacting and laughing together and stuff like that. That just shows incredibly healthy individuals and families.
Thanks, dude. Man, I'm gonna show you a picture because remember I said my daughter was when they prayed.
Mm-hmm.
When I looked out and when I was getting things out the car and they were praying, it was my daughter that got them together. And like we need to pray, so they huddle up. Cars are passing by, and there's one picture, man, where this picture right here. So that guy, that great car that's ahead of us, man, that dude, he was just some bystander, man, that stopped his vehicle. But man, when I tell you that that my family were A-okay, I saw that they were okay when they were praying. But what really did it was, oops, where did it go? Oh, I can't see y'all now. Okay. What really did it was my family immediately, them praying, let me know that they were okay.
Mm.
But when I zoomed in to that one picture, so, all right, so if you look to the right of that picture, you see my kids, it's now stopped raining, and my kids are underneath the umbrella. I'm gonna go a close up. Look at this. You can't really see it, but my two sons are smiling as he's looking at his phone, texting. I don't know who he was texting, but dude, they're smiling. Like here,
Yeah.
they've never been in an accident. Their life flashed in front of them, and here they are smiling and talking to each other, man. That's man, that blessed my soul right there, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's incredible. Again, like in dramatic times, it's an accelerant to what's in people's hearts,
There's a
and
verse. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil.
yeah,
Because thou art with me. Yep.
that's when the metal is tested.
Shoot. And no pun intended.
Oh
But
man.
I walked away with this, and we can transition after this if you want to. When the car came to a halt, and I saw that we were all okay, I was like, this underscores and shines a light that God indeed has a purpose for me and my family. To survive a crash like that, like, yep. All right, yeah. Maybe I didn't have it at first. I thought I did, but it's clear now.
You got work to do.
We got work to do.
Yep. God's like, man, you're only 3 seasons deep in the Well MetaVersed. You gotta.
Right. We got some changes coming that you need to be instrumental and involved in.
That's
So.
right. That's right. What a perfect segue.
Yeah. Speaking of which.
Yeah. No, man. Of course. Man, when you told me what initially what you and your family had gone through and how you had come through it, it was just a testimony to who you are as a man and who your family is. Just
Can we?
absolutely. Yeah.
Hey, y'all. Here's what everybody needs to know. So when Aaron, I text Aaron. I think I said, hold on, let me get the text message. What did I say to you? I said, oh, he was like, he was asking, you were asking me about republishing the world. And I said, small hiccup, I won't be home until Friday morning. And then, and after that, that's when I sent that picture right there.
Yeah.
And I told him, of course, keep that to himself because I think you were about to record or something. So then so then I was like, well, that's kind of shocking. Let me FaceTime him. And so everybody, when I FaceTime him, here is what Aaron came into. First of all, I asked the phone and I was like this.
Yeah. 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 And then I instantly knew you were okay.
That was great.
That was good. Yeah.
Yeah, my sister walked into the room and she was, she was still stressed. And she just bust out laughing.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, it was and by the way, like that was the way to handle that, because a picture and a text message, there's only so much you can communicate. But then again, to see somebody face to face and have that moment of levity and laughter together, then it's okay. And man, that's important stuff.
Yeah, thank you, Claire. I appreciate that. And let
Yeah.
me just say, man, like just like having you as a friend, dude, I love the comedy that you and I share, like the laughs, the jokes, to be able to just answer the phone like that. Just this is great. I know I need to do that for you because I knew you would be concerned. I was like, I gotta set my brother's heart at ease.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. After I mess with them for a quick second. Oh yeah, that was good. Yeah, and little did I know that that in the midst of all that, the show, Well MetaVersed, is going through some really cool. All right, so last week, a lot of people know that like we started talking about potentially bringing in some new hosts for new. I don't know what the term would be, like new editions of Well MetaVersed, to bring in other hosts to kind of take this thing that we've started and make it their own and continue it forward. We're not going anywhere. We're going to
Yeah.
continue doing our thing. And in fact, I'm sure sometime soon we'll end up back in World doing episodes in Jason Earls Productions as well. But so not to replace, but in addition to that, to empower other people to be able to come in and do shows. Well,
Indeed.
I mean, Lunch Lady, Ace, and Warfeather, like they jumped on this thing, and like within about 48 hours of conception of the idea, they were doing their first show. And now tomorrow they're going to have their second show on Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern in Jason Earls Productions, which people can access it right through the door in the Soapstone. And their first show, man, they knocked it out of the park to capacity immediately. Just
Sweet.
just full. And they did a great job. They embraced the fact that it was new territory for them. And I'll tell
Yeah.
you what, when we're tackling something new and we embrace that and are transparent about it, then people become on our side with it. Then
Yes.
people are rooting for us and with us, and
Yes.
they did exactly that. And it's so good, so valuable. Just thrilled about it.
Dude, yeah, I mean, that's the organizational leadership business principle, even spiritual principle. There's, there's this concept that, I've talked about this and share my story. It's back in the day when people would travel from wherever they were in their village to Jerusalem, going up to Jerusalem, they were afraid. Some were afraid of what was in the mountains, whether it was beasts, some types of animals, whether it was robbers. And so they wrote this song that the elders would oftentimes, start off like, I look to the hills, from where does my help come from? The idea is I'm not going to allow the potential of failure or slip ups to stop me from plowing forward.
Mm.
I'm going to look to the hills, the direction that I'm going, knowing that it's not the hills that give me my help, knowing that I sound like I'm at church a little bit.
Preach, preach.
Yeah, I'm not going to allow the potential of nobody showing up in this world, this new metaverse, this new venture that we're going to show up. That's not where my help comes from.
Yeah.
Promotion doesn't come from the east nor the west. It comes from the Lord, man. So,
yeah. And it's nice when all those things that you listed out overlap.
yeah,
When business principle, human relations principles, spiritual principles, when all of these things overlap, that's when
yeah,
you're in the wheelhouse and
indeed,
in the right direction.
indeed. So
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, so it's cool. We'll see. I'm sure there's going to be more people that say, "Hey, you know what? I want
I
to
like to try it.
do an edition
Yeah,
of Well MetaVersed," and we'll bring them in. We'll empower them.
absolutely.
We'll position them for success, and then we'll let them shine.
So when we're airing, they go live tomorrow.
Yeah, so they it's in world.
World, yeah.
I'm not sure if they're streaming it. They might be streaming it too,
I
but
mean, not live, but yeah, I mean, but it'll be
yeah.
live.
Oh
We'll
yeah,
have a live in world show.
yeah. So 10 p.m. Eastern, they'll be rocking it out in Jason Earls Productions. And I think typically they're kind of following the same format that we would do, where they're gathering in the soapstone.
Yeah,
And kind of getting the crew around and together. And then when it's time, hopping over to Jason Earls Productions. And I'll tell you, last week there were people that hung out for quite some time afterwards, and all that. So they've got Nanook on there this time. So I wouldn't be surprised. I bet they're gonna have the show tomorrow, and then I bet they're probably gonna hop around to some of Nanook's builds. That dude, man, he's been doing a lot in the soapstone, and one of the things I recently caught him doing was hosting trivia.
yeah.
And this dude is hosting trivia in a different way. He's asking the contestants what subject they want, and then he's making up the questions on the spot.
Wow.
And these aren't softball questions. Like these are serious trivia questions.
Yeah.
And he's just rolling with it. It's awesome. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
you can't have a name like Nuke.
The Nuke one is
yeah. Right. Yeah, and be trifling. Like
you'd think he'd bomb, but
right, that's hysterical. No, he just blow the spot up. That's kills it. Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. But that's cool to see them step into the light and host, and both of them are phenomenal builders. Neither of them are exceptionally comfortable or experienced in being in the spotlight and hosting a talk show. So I mean, I just love
it. Yeah, and I love how Warfeather's just been sitting around soaking up in the building, but he's always been consistent. You know he's gonna be there, and he's just been sitting, soaking, and watching.
And I'll tell you what, for a long time, and this is still his philosophy, he has been he's been totally satisfied teaming up and collaborating with other people on their builds and contributing and learning. So like he's been doing that since he came in. So I mean, he's amassed a good chunk of knowledge, and and he's not scared to share that.
Right. So good. So good, brother.
Indeed. Bart says, "Good afternoon, bonjour."
Bonjour.
Yep. and I'm gonna not say that right, so I'm not gonna say
Yeah.
it.
Bonjour.
Yeah. Bart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man,
We
we've
definitely.
it's really cool to see folks continuing to step up and do great things in the soapstone. Bart, of course, we've talked about him a number of times recently, and the great stuff that he's doing. But there's a guy named Frater who is also like this guy has leaned. He's one of our certified soapstone mentors, and this guy has leaned into mentoring people in open mic and kind of building them up like I've not seen anybody do, as effectively. Like
Right.
he spends time with them, he encourages them, and lets them shine. But then, and this is the part that really blows me away. But then he writes up a pretty detailed and positive feedback to share with the leads and with the other mentors on how this person is doing. And it's just awesome to see people step up to encourage and empower each other and help people continue to improve while growing stronger and stronger. It's awesome.
That's so good, man. I'm learning.
Well, it's been nice talking to you.
I'm here. They will call. Yeah. I'm learning. I've always understood the value of writing, but there's this new, now that I'm in this larger leadership role, I understand its importance like never before. It's, like just writing notes and sending it to people, just, kind of like writing evaluations and putting it out there. There is something to be said. It's almost like it takes on a greater official place when something is written down.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, let's take the three main goals of the soapstone. Man, they're on that clipboard. Had they not been on the clipboard, it wouldn't be as impactful.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. There's something that happens, at least from the perspective of permanence, which that could be the title of a
That's
death metal
just
song.
right. The
But
perspective of permanence. I'm writing it down myself.
yeah. But there's something that happens that cements it, that says, okay,
Yeah.
this is real. Yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff.
The perspective of permanence. So I
Again,
wonder what Lolly's up to.
I don't know, maybe System of a Down could probably sing that song. Like
Perspective of permanence. I wonder what Lolly D's up to, man. What she got planned for the soapstone this
I
week.
don't know, Lolly D, can we bring you out? All right.
Hi. Good morning,
Hey.
everybody. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Miss Sunshine.
Hey, Jason, I just wanted to say I totally agree with your philosophy that you have work to do, and that's why you're here. I'm so grateful and so happy that your family is safe and that accident was what it was. But I know those moments don't just leave a person who's lived through it that easily. I know you're okay, and it's just insurance will take care of things, but those impressions that get made on you, those moments are so I know. And I think you having that experience is probably just going to bring more to you. You are an important leader, and you touch so many lives, and that's just given you more experience to pull from. And from that perspective, you gain something from it. But boy, that's heavy duty, and so happy that you and your family are okay. So
Thanks,
happy.
Lolly. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so
We're
By the way,
consistently talking about
Bart says
Bart.
snazzy dress, Lolly. No, and you got to tell me, Lolly, was that a reward playing Super Rumble?
I won't be getting any shirts from Super Rumble. I can't get out of the entry. I got to go in a private instance with somebody who we can shoot each other. I know that's a strategy I may have to try out.
There you go. There you go.
So
You were about to say something important, Jason.
Yeah, I was just gonna talk about how important it is to really step up your game in Super Rumble. And
Sturm's got it. He can teach us.
thanks, Sturm. We'll deal with that. We'll work on that. In the Soapstone this week, we've got our regular great shows. We all know what those are. And tomorrow, as you said, is talk show day. But I'm glad you focused on the Wednesday night show because that's a new thing we got going on, and that's very exciting. I mean, we're always grateful and happy when we have other people who want to step up and get on that stage because it's not easy. We all know how not easy that is. It's laying yourself out there, putting yourself up there for criticism. So kudos to you guys for doing that. But I hear it's wonderful and it's just going to bring another perspective on things to the metaverse. And that's wonderful. So that's 10 o'clock tomorrow night with Well MetaVersed in the Jason Earls studio. And then along with, we've got Good Morning Soapstone tomorrow, which is going to be Mommy and Daddy, who are some great builders here in the metaverse. And maybe a little My World 22 might be coming in as well. So yeah, always fun to have people on that show to give their perspectives. And then Bart's show, Lay Soapstone's coming, which is awesome. And then what we've got going on the rest of the week. We've got Meta Voice and musician showcase and on and on and on. So all great stuff in Soapstone. So check your menus, check your events, and click interested so that you get reminded because it's going to be a great week.
And tonight is trivia.
Trivia tonight. Yeah.
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff.
We don't talk enough about the improv show too. That's so incredible. People really got to work in that show. You gotta have some skills in that show. Yeah, and so they work. Those people work. So that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's a fun time.
Actually, I'm glad that you brought up improv because that's another show that there's just really cool stuff happening. One, we're only a couple weeks away from Cobra Stone Ranch, Texas. Kobe Cobra coming back and hosting again. And I got to tell you, we're all very much looking forward to that. He's taken the entire summer to go be a counselor at a kids camp. And
awesome.
And we get him back here soon. So that's going to be cool. And Lizard Play has been in there just crushing it. Like this guy has stepped into that role of host and not just host, but marquee host. Like he is identifying other people that can host and building people up. And I mean, he's internalized that goal of 10xing that event. And he is pushing and doing what he can to have 10 instances going at once. So yeah, it's that improv experience is something special.
We've got such great people at the Soapstone, so many talented, they just all waiting for their moment, and they get up there during open mic, which we keep telling everybody, come during open mic. I mean, that's turning into a show all the time. It becomes its own show, and it's a great experience. Yeah. As you said, Frater's one of the ones that likes to do a lot of open mic experiences. He's really good at it and super positive influence, loves the kids. So we're really blessed to have the people that we have in the Soapstone. We got some great people on our team.
Indeed. And Jackie says, "Hey guys, sorry I'm late," which is our cue to wrap it up. And,
now that you're here, Jackie, we can leave. Thanks.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. So this is gonna be a fun week. There's cool stuff happening. Next week, if I were a betting man, I'd bet that next week we're gonna have some exciting stuff to talk about on this show as well. So
looking forward to it.
I can't wait to talk about stuff next week.
So good.
Yep.
Well, this has been great, man. So glad, man. So glad to be here. So glad, we can take this thing for granted that we gather here. So I'm glad to be able to hang out with y'all every Tuesday.
Yeah. So on that note, thank you guys, of course, for being a part of this. Thank you, everybody watching, for being a part of this Well MetaVersed adventure. And we will see you soon in the Soapstone and Jason Earls Productions. And let's talk about it with, actually now with Frater, right?
On Saturdays, Frater's on Let's Talk About It. I'll be back on Tuesdays pretty soon, but Frater's Saturday at noon Central. So yeah, check it out with Frater.
Excellent. All right, everybody.